Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm Dark Bloom and today we're going to be talking about Wreckfest 2. Yep, Wreckfest 2. So when Xbox got those emails leaked or documents leaked about Game Pass, the one where everyone pointed out how they really underestimated Baldur's Gate 3. Well, in that same document, there's a game listed right above Baldur's Gate 3 that says Wreckfest 2. And that caught my eye because Bugbear posted a recent teaser to their Twitter, and it's basically a microphone strapped up to a derby car. So basically doing sound design. And I think we're getting Wreckfest 2 either later this year, probably not, it's already fucking October, or next year. So I want to talk about that. I'm sure everyone's heard about FTC and Xbox getting into the ring and beating the living fuck out of each other. And in the process of doing that, there's been so many leaked documents showcasing Xbox's plans for the future and everything in between that it's been just mind-blowing. It's actually wild. Well, recently, when it came out that Xbox kind of didn't really believe in Baldur's Gate 3, right above Baldur's Gate 3, there was a nice little game listed called Wreckfest 2. And that caught my attention because there was no formal announcement whatsoever at this point. And yes, I understand, it says December 2022 on there. It also says that for Baldur's Gate 3, and that just came out this year, so obviously delays happen. A lot of delays happen internally. You think it's bad on the outside, internally it's worse. So I'm sure it'll come out in the next year or two, hopefully. And that's not the only thing either. Bugbear Entertainment, the creators of Wreckfest and Flatout, have also posted on their Twitter a nice little teaser, and this really confirms it for me. Now, if you never heard of Wreckfest, allow me to explain the gameplay. It is a destruction derby racing game. The cars are bangers, they're all beaten up and everything like that. You basically race in the most chaotic racing game you'll ever play. The damage modeling on that game, the physics, the graphics on Wreckfest, it just blows my mind. Wreckfest was the follow-up racing game from Bugbear Entertainment, the original creators of the Flatout franchise. And once they lost the IP, they didn't really know what to do. So, come a little while later, Wreckfest was born, and it caught my attention immediately. I love Wreckfest. It is probably one of my favorite racing games ever made, solely because the graphics, the physics, and everything is just so on point. Wreckfest isn't exactly a full-on arcade racer. It has elements of simulation in there. Cars handle pretty damn well. You gotta learn to handle different cars and everything like that, and it is really the magnum opus of Bugbear Entertainment as of now. So if you haven't played Wreckfest yet and you want some chaotic good fun in a racing game, go check it out. I don't think you'll regret it. So what this means is we're quite possibly going to be seeing Wreckfest 2 unless something happens internally. THQ Nordic isn't part of Embracer Group, which is going through a whole restructuring right now because of a deal falling through. So I'm kind of worried that might actually can Wreckfest 2. I'm having hopes that nothing is affected, but with Embracer completely restructuring, it is possible THQ and everything underneath it gets sent away and sold to someone else, and they just don't want Wreckfest 2. There's just so much that could happen with the restructuring of a parent company that it kind of worries me about all these companies Embracer just threw money at and bought immediately. But hey, that's the story for another day, I guess. So with Wreckfest 2 seemingly confirmed through leaks, hopefully, I'm going to talk about what I hope Wreckfest 2 brings to the table compared to the first game. Even though I really love the first game, there's some more things they could add to it that would really improve the gameplay. So I'm going to start with stunts. Wreckfest does not have stunts, which is a staple in the Flatout franchise, which is created by Bugbear Entertainment. So I would really love for them to bring their creative imagination back to the stunt minigame table and cook up a whole batch of minigames / stunts for Wreckfest 2, because those were just iconic. And I can tell you right now, whoever owns the Flatout IP does not have a stranglehold on minigames involving cars. And if there's a patent for that, I just lost a lot of hope for the gaming industry. But no, they don't. So go ahead and throw some stunts in Wreckfest 2. Let us have some stunting fun. Next up is something I'm a little torn on, actually. I'm not sure if I want this or not. I'll let you guys debate in the comments if you want. But what do you guys think of Wreckfest 2 having different classes of cars like Flatout 2? So you know how Wreckfest kind of only has derby cars right now, like Flat Out 1 only had derby cars. Well, in Wreckfest 2, what if they brought like a street class or a tuner class or something in that nature like they did with Flat Out 2? What if they brought that back? I think in Wreckfest's like state and gameplay loop, it would work pretty well. And I think there's a lot of things they could do with that. So I kind of hope they bring back classes, but at the same time, I really love the aesthetic of Wreckfest. It's just demolition derby culture. It's just fun racing. It's good. And I'm not sure if adding tuner or street cars into this mix would actually help it or damage it. That's something that the developers will have to think of if they come up with that idea and go ahead and implement it. I'm just spitballing here though. Another thing I hope they improve on in Wreckfest 2 is the career mode. There has never been really a narrative in Wreckfest. It is just a list of tournaments, kind of like Flat Out, where you just race cars, unlock more stuff, and repeat. And I really just want them to add some kind of narrative story to Wreckfest 2, because I feel like even the slightest thread of a plot and narrative will pull in any player that plays the game a lot more than what it would if it was just a list of tournaments you can play. Now, I understand that's a little bit more work and whatnot, but I'm not saying write a Last of Us 2 dialogue here. I'm saying something that each and every player can sit down and immerse himself into some type of narrative story to help pull them into the game and get them wanting to play more and actually learn it. Because I have a couple friends that just didn't care for Wreckfest because they just thought of it like a sandbox racing game, which, fair, I guess, honestly. But I feel like they could capture a way bigger audience just with the slightest hint of a plot or story to the career mode. That's just something I've always wanted to see in a Flat Out game, and now I want to see it in a Wreckfest game. So yeah, this is pretty much what I want to see in Wreckfest 2. I want to see stunts, a narrative, and maybe classes of cars like racer, tuner, or derby cars like they did in Flat Out 2. But they have to do that part right. And yeah, I don't think I can think of anything else to improve the game as a player besides some quality of life stuff and, you know, a better online maybe. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty excited for what Wreckfest 2 is going to bring to the table. I don't doubt Bugbear Entertainment for a second. What I worry about is the parent company of THQ Nordic, which is Embracer Group. But other than that, I have pretty high hopes for Wreckfest 2, and it appears it's going to be on the Game Pass because it leaked in an Xbox document, so hey, that's always a plus, guys. So if you liked the video, go ahead and like, drop me a subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Oh, if you haven't checked it out yet, I've been doing Flat Out retrospectives.